Called Fright Night. Pete Carroll's team had won 7 straight Pac-10 titles, 13-1 last 14 road games against ranked teams. Their only loss 0-7 against Oregon. There goes LaMichael James. LaMichael James, since he has stepped in as a starting running back, averaging over 130 yards per game. It's a 17-10 Oregon lead. Matt Barkley, Damian Williams, great move by Williams.
A terrific job by Williams of finishing off the play, getting by the defender and getting into the end zone for the score.
But Oregon gets it right back. We're still in the first half, and time again, Lou, Jeremiah Masoli hurt them running.
They have had all kinds of problems. I'm referring to Southern Cal stopping a running quarterback. You remember the great quarterback Vince Young? They have trouble with him.
And then Masoli hurts him with his arm. To former USC receiver Jameer Holland ducks up 7 at the break.
He's doing most of this stuff on broken play stuff, his damage. You know, he's scrambling around, changing his tempo a little bit. It's not really base stuff, so we got to track him down better. You know, he just scrambled for 50 right there, so we got to make sure we keep our eyes on him.
So Carroll wanted to keep the eyes on Masoli. He said it. Trojans couldn't do it. It's a 27-20 game. Masoli again. Just as Pete said, broken play, nothing designed, 26 more yards. Masoli had 164 yards rushing, Mark.
And what happens with USC, they don't keep contained here, and Jeremiah Masoli is able to break contain and get to the outside and do what he does best with the football, and that's run and make yards.
And it wasn't just Masoli. LaMichael James was doing it too. James busts through, rips off 18 down to the 5, and on the next play, USC, as if they were conscientious objectors, Lou, James went for 183 on the night.
Well, they just played so well, Oregon did, and just dominated them right from the start.
Next, Oregon drive, 34-20. We're approaching a territory, the most points a Pete Carroll-led Trojan team had ever allowed. Guess who? Masoli. Taylor Mays comes in trying to deliver an intimidating hit and didn't bother Masoli one bit. Kenyon Barner takes it into the barn, and it's 41-20, and a can of whooping duck size being applied to the Trojans' rear end. Oregon trying to put it away. Here goes Masoli again. It would set up a field goal. Oregon kicked a couple. Most points ever allowed by a Pete Carroll Trojan defense, 47-20. What the Longhorns like to do is give Oklahoma State a little bit of a lead, toy with them a little while, and then yank it away from them like Lucy taking the football away from Charlie Brown. And Oklahoma State tried to get up early, but Hubert Anium, who has terrific hands, has been really good in Des Bryant's absence, just couldn't hang on and dropped what probably would have been a touchdown pass. Still a 3-0 game in the second quarter. Robinson finds Anium, who catches it this time, but he puts it on the ground. Blake Gideon is there to scoop it up. Texas would go in to score a touchdown after that. A 10-0 game. Robinson firing. Oh, Curtis Brown's got it. Mayday's going the other way.
A terrific job by Curtis Brown of watching Zach Robinson's eyes. He targeted this, he telegraphed this, and he broke in front of the football, in front of the receiver, and made something huge happen. A 77-yard interception return for the touchdown.
Let me tell you, this Texas defense is opportunistic. They are nasty, and they get a good rush on guys, and they have an offense that complements them. McCoy hit James Kirkendall. Andre Sexton rips it away from him. The officials ruled that the play was over. Still Texas ball, 3rd down. Later in the drive, they converted. McCoy, 16-21, buck 71. Malcolm Williams, here's his only touchdown pass. 24-7. Kevin Durant likes it. He probably tweeted about it, as Kevin is wont to do. In a 27-7 game, Earl Thomas pick 6.
Oh, just another one. It's 2 touchdowns run back off interceptions. No wonder you win big.
And saying they were ready to spoil Florida's season, they broke out the black helmets for the first time, hoping that would stop Tim Tebow. It didn't. Tebow to Riley Cooper, Lou.
Boy, what a great throw that was. Just set his feet so quick, made a perfect strike.
4 catches, 78 yards for Cooper. More from Cooper. You will never see a better catch than this one, Mayday.
This was Riley Cooper's day, but what a fantastic catch. One of the best catches of the season. Look at the concentration. One hand on the ball, one hand on the defender, and he hauls it in for the touchdown.
14-0. Gators rolling. 17-10. Dogs had gotten back in it. Tebow keeping. Tebow running into the record book. His 50th career touchdown run that broke Herschel Walker's record, most in SEC history, and Tim keeps the football. 24-10 at the half. Joe Cox pressured. What a play by A.J. Jones, who had 2 interceptions for the Gators. Tebow option, keeping it himself. 18 carries, 84 yards. Gators rolling again. And then Logan Gray in relief for Cox. Florida had 4 interceptions, and they'll never find an easier than pick 6 than the one Brandon Spikes had there. 41-17, Tim Tebow's team. And Indiana, they were rude guests for most of the day. 14-7 game, and Amari Spivey. Now, Spivey is the 3rd punt returner Iowa's had to use this year because of injury. He fielded one late in the half inside his 10 and put it on the ground. Ensuing drive, Ben Chappell, Mark, finds DeMarlo Belcher.
And a terrific job of throwing the ball right to his receiver right there. And Indiana goes up 21-7.
21-7, 3rd quarter. Here's a key thing. Trying to make it a bigger lead, and then Iowa gets a play that turned the game around. Tyler Sash, his 6th interception of the year.
It's unbelievable. It bounced off 5 different players. Actually, 4 different ones, but Sash picked it off. Watch
So
this.
let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. And 5. 5 takes it and goes the other way. Sash came into the game 6th in the country in interceptions. You won't have a weirder one than that. Indiana comes right back. Terrence Turner, touchdown, but it was reviewed upstairs and eventually overturned. Now, I think some conference officials will tell you maybe the replay official overstepped his boundaries looking for indisputable video evidence. Lou, that toe looks down.
His toe was down before the knee came down out of bounds. He had possession of the ball. It was ruled a touchdown. I thought for sure it would be, and Coach Lynch felt like I did.
Well, Bill Lynch didn't get many in the replay booth in this game for sure. Ricky Stanzi, brutal in the 3rd quarter. Picked off by Donnell Jones. Matt Mayberry gets one, and then Colin Taylor made it.
You know, he's spreading the wealth for the Indiana defense.
4 picks in the quarter, 5 in the game, a career worst performance. Indiana up by 10 after 3. Stanzi time. 4th quarter, and the wind time. They had the wind at their back, and he finds Marvin McNutt for 92 yards.
Oh, it's a great one. It's not the great comeback in the 4th quarter. Surprised me is the fact Stanzi was still in the game.
You would have yanked him out of it. And you know what? And any coach would have had justification. He looked terrible in the 3rd quarter. But his very next pass after the 92-yard touchdown, a 66-yarder to Daryl Johnson Koulianos. Into the end zone, and Iowa ends up winning going away 42-24. Even Ferentz doesn't hit any Lions. Getting pushed by Northwestern. Going into Evanston, down 10-3. Darrell Clark. He's thrown 17 touchdown passes on the season. Can do it with his feet, too, Mark.
That's one thing about Darrell Clark. He's athletic enough to pull the ball down if no one's open, to make something happen with his legs, and he does. He scores a touchdown.
You know, coming into this game, only Case Keenum of Houston, Kellen Moore of Boise State had thrown more touchdown passes than Darrell Clark. Threw for 274, found Derek Moy there. Campaign for the BCS spot. Gary said he'll wait till the end of the season. His team's doing plenty of campaigning against UNLV. Look at old Ed Wesley. We're going to put this on ESPN axis, Mark. Look at him cross the axis, and there are 9 defenders that are going to be left in his wake.
It'd be a great job if they took angles to try to catch him, Coach. Look at this. He just outruns everybody, takes it back to the right side. And how about the quarterback trying to throw a ball? Oh, no, he's not going to throw one, but he's going to take it in for the score.
578 yards of offense, 390 on the ground, and Andy Dalton will find Jeremy Curley.
Oh, just a nice, strong throw. Dalton is a very underrated quarterback.
UNLV had 7 first downs. State taking on San Jose State. Kellen Moore leads the nation in passing efficiency. Moore looking for Mitch Burrows, Lou.
Oh, he's just wide open, but he ran a beautiful route. Kellen Moore is having a tremendous year and only a sophomore.
Jordan Lasekla of San Jose State will be picked off by Kyle Wilson. Wilson is as good a corner as you'll find anywhere, and Boise State roars away 45-7. Moore throwing for 2. Leading the way in the Big East, Tony Pike still with that arm injury out, and Zach Collaris outstanding in his stead. He's also the holder on the field goal team, bobbled the snap and found Kazim Alai, Mark.
This is a terrific job of keeping your composure. He could have thrown it to one of the offensive linemen that were downfield.
Syracuse had a different opinion of how that all worked out. Collaris then shows his scrambling ability. Little Fran Tarkin and Doug Flutie-esque moves. Armand Benz. Bearcats take care of business. 28-7, the final over Syracuse. They're 8-0. Wazoo and Notre Dame. They're playing in San Antonio. This is probably one of those recruiting things as Notre Dame tries to branch out around the country in terms of getting their team out there. Clausen, the ball Kamara, extra point blocked. Irish up 9-0. Here's Golden Tate wildcatting, Luke.
Oh, he's just such a special athlete there. He takes a good hit, bounces off spin, with his great speed goes in for the touchdown.
We put the Cougs in the spin cycle, Mayday.
Terrific job by Golden Tate of finishing the play and taking it in for the score. But out of that Wildcat, they don't throw it.
And you know, Tate is making a strong case for the Biletnikoff Award. Clausen throwing it up. Oh, Hail Mary. 3 Cougs around, and, well, they Couged it. Not as big as some expected, but Notre Dame won it. Tech and Vanderbilt. Georgia Tech stepping out of conference play. They are really in the driver's seat in their division in the ACC. Josh Nesbitt to Demarius Thomas, Luke.
Oh, just a nice throw. But when you run that wishbone, your play-action passing is so effective.
But the Jackets really couldn't put Vanderbilt away. Their defense kept getting gashed. Zach Stacy.
Terrific job by the offensive line, opening up a huge hole, and Stacy's going to take it to the house.
Hey, Mark, how'd you like to have a quarterback who completes 6 passes on the night, but for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns to lose point as Nesbitt finds Embry Peoples?
My kind of QB, RD. My kind of QB.
Up top, throwing vertical. I know you love it. 404 yards on the ground, 597 yards of O, and no, Miami was a victim last week. They lost to Clemson and then going into Wake Forest, still clinging to hopes of getting into that title game, and Wake trying to take it away. Riley Skinner, a huge game, finds Chris Givens, and Wake up 27-14. But Wake would have problems with turnovers, Lou. They had 4 of them, including the muffed punt here.
Oh, it's just disastrous. You're up 27-14, and you fumble the punt on your own 2-yard line. Those are the things that'll come back to haunt you.
Miami scored on the next play, 27-21. Now Skinner running with it, gets 12, but he's shaken up on the play, lost his helmet, took a big hit after the helmet flew off. I don't know what's going on. Too many helmets are flying off in college football. You see dozens of them every week. Skinner would have to leave the game. Under 2 minutes to go. 4th and 16, and Harris saves a chance for the Canes, finding out Darius Johnson. And then 2 plays later, Travis Benjamin sliding, reaching, grabbing. Touchdown. Miami saves itself, 28-27 over Wake Forest. Harris threw for 333 scores. Another shootout in the ACC. North Carolina State and Florida State. NC State down 38-35. Russell Wilson finding Jarvis Williams.
And Russell Williams, one of the better passers on the run. He's extremely accurate, and he proves it right there.
North Carolina State ahead 42-38. Burt Reed, a little end around, and the Seminoles go back up 45-42. As Seminoles defense has just been horrible. But they made plays in the final drive to stop Russell Wilson. Flushed him out of the pocket, and Jamie Robinson.
Knock it down.
Better knock that thing down. They grab it for the pick. Noles win at 45-42. They've still got a chance to make that ACC title game, though it's a complete jumble. Kansas State leads the Big 12 North. Only explanation, Bill Snyder's magic. Oklahoma, their foe, and Ryan Broyles up and over. Broyles be there.
He has had a great year with it. And to be able, he missed a couple games with a bad shoulder, but he hung in there.
You know, that kind of thing will give you a bad shoulder. Give you another one if you don't have one.
And a headache.
Apparently it was okay. He catches the touchdown pass from Landry Jones. Sam Bradford approves. 35-23. And then Brandon Banks, this is 5th career kick return for a touchdown mark. That's a Big 12 record.
He's got some jets, but he gets some excellent blocking. No one even comes close to touching him here. He knows what to do with the football when he's returning it. He scores with it.
35-30 in Norman. Kansas State has a chance, but Oklahoma answers. DeMarco Murray, 42-30. Jones threw for 294. South Carolina and Tennessee. Vols going with the black look for Halloween. Mark, black jerseys.
Yuck.
Jonathan Crompton finds Austin Johnson. Williams said this play brilliantly designed.
It really was. They faked the ISO up inside. They could not cover the fullback.
They couldn't stop Montario Hardesty. Puts Conkey into the spin cycle. Hardesty went for 120 yards. South Carolina actually outgained Tennessee slightly, but they had 4 turnovers. Tennessee scored after every one of them, 3 of them deep in their own end. Vols win easily, 31-27. He's not throwing accurately, and this weird play winds up in a pick six for Walter McFadden.
Has no confidence in his offensive line or his wide receivers, but Walter McFadden, Johnny on the spot here, makes something happen with this interception. He takes it in for the score.
That was a good call by the officials, too. Got his hands underneath there. It looked as if it bounced off the ground, bounced off his hands, and right into McFadden's hands. Ben Tate, third quarter, Auburn scored 23 points, put this thing away. Ben Tate went for a $144. Watch for the wheels coming off the Ole Miss bus. See if they collapse after losing by 13 to Auburn. USA showdown, Southern Mississippi and Houston, each only one loss in their respective divisions. Fourth quarter, Houston up 33-22. Case Keenum, James Cleveland.
Oh, Case Keenum can make any throw that you want him to. And how about Case Keenum? A huge day, over 300 yards at halftime.
Cleveland caught 13 passes, 190 yards. Houston had a 40-22 lead, but it was 43-36 under a minute to go. Martavius Young, Gerald Baptiste tied at 43. 24 seconds left, Luke.
What happens? Southern Miss jumps offside, and the quarterback thinks the play's going to be stopped, but Pat Edwards keeps going for the touchdown.
Keenum finds him. Keenum threw for 559 yards, 5 touchdowns, best performance in college football this year. In fact, Keenum has the 2 top yardage days. You know I wouldn't be telling you that if this pass were complete, although Houston really ought to knock that thing down instead of batting it up. Young threw the Hail Mary. Houston hangs on 50-43. Pac-10, Cal and Arizona State. Arizona Senator John McCain watching the Sun Devils take on the sturdy Golden Bears. Second quarter, Sun Devils down 14-7. Danny Sullivan, Kyle Williams.
Oh, the big fella throwing the ball down the field vertically, and Kyle Williams finishes it off. Shows his speed, 80 yards in for the score.
Game tied at 14 at that point. Under 6 minutes to go. Bears down 21-20. Matt Tavecchio. No, sir. Wide right. Cal still trailing. 30 seconds left. Cal with the ball. Second and goal. Tedford was worried about the field goal maybe. Tried Shane Vereen, the running back in the Wildcat, with a jump pass. But now Tavecchio's going to try to win it. Oh, Arizona State almost got there, but not quite. Bears win it. 23, first home game since the tragic death of Jasper Howard, number 6, killed 2 weeks ago, and fans, teammates, paying tribute to number 6 by wearing his number and holding it in the stands. Rutgers on the opening kickoff takes it back the other way. Devin McCourty, second straight week, the Huskies have allowed the opening kickoff to be returned for a touchdown, 7-0 Rutgers. Fourth quarter, UConn down 21-10. Second and 10 from Rutgers 32. Zach Frazier to Marcus Easley.
Oh, this is just a great effort after he catches the football. Doesn't look like he has a chance to score, but he does.
UConn within 4, 21-17. 43 ticks to go. Jordan Todman, this is 4th and goal, Mayday.
Just powers the ball into the right side, gets some great blocking, takes it to the corner, scores.
Looks as if the Huskies have it won. Up with under 40 seconds to go. 33 ticks left. Tom Savage to Tim Brown, open and loose. And Tim Brown, 5 catches, 162 yards, and a very close friend of Jasper Howard, runs for the winning touchdown. A heartbreaker for UConn, 28.
Comfort zone at Temple, going for his 6th straight W. Temple facing Navy, and this kid is special. Bernard Pierce, 41 yards. He had 212 yards last week. How about 267 on 29 carries Saturday? Temple up 27-24. Under 2 minutes to go, 4th down for Navy, and Ricky Dobbs sacked by Adrian Robinson. Temple takes over. It's 6 straight wins, 27-24. With that, Temple is bowl eligible for the first time since 1990, but the Owls haven't played in a bowl game since almost 30 years ago.